What's up, y'all? We are here for Joseline's Cabaret, episode 7. Next week looks so good. Looks so good. What? My baby in there swinging down, getting jumped and winning too. And then they had her back. Her girls had her back. It's a rumble next week, boy. Next week is going to be so good. But this episode was good too. Very good. Very good. Like I said, Joseline's Cabaret is winning the Zeus war between baddies and Joseline's. They have not had a bad episode yet this season. Not a bad episode yet. Episode 7. Let's go. Thumbs up the video. Subscribe. If you're new, hit that red subscribe button. Just hit it now. Hit it now. Because we're going to be here for the rest of the season. Drop in the comments. I want y'all in them comments. Y'all did good last week. Keep it up. Let's try and set a goal for likes. Let's try and hit 200 likes for this video. I think Joseline's Cabaret, y'all's crew starting to roll in a little bit more. I think 200 is feasible. Let's try and get 200 likes on that video. But let's go, because we got to get to Baddies. Baddies is about to come out too. The WNBA Finals is out at 8 o'clock too. My Commanders whooped the shit out of the Panthers. I'm in a good mood. Let's go. All right, so we get back to Neek versus Hennessy. They're fighting. My boo was swinging down and she was winning. She was connecting. Like, Hennessy did get her down on the ground, but once they got on the ground, this was intense. You could tell there was some real animosity and some real anger and I don't want to say hate, but hatred towards each other from both of these girls. The way they was gripping each other up and stuff, and the way Neek was swinging. You could tell Hennessy wanted to swing. You could tell Hennessy's strategy is to grab and swing, and she's trying to grab Neek but couldn't get her. But when they got down to the ground, she was grabbing on Neek's wig. Neek is grabbing on her braids. Neek got on top of her while they was on the ground. Though I was nervous. Because in the preview for this week, last week, I thought Neek lost when she was crying. Because normally when you lose and you crying to get another round, normally when you fight and you crying to get another round, you typically lose. I don't think she lost. But security ends up pulling them off. Joseline cracked me up because Joseline was pulling up as this all was happening. She rolling down her windows, looking at it, smirking, and she hopped out the car smirking. I was cracking up. But security ends up trying to restrain Neek. She's still wanting to fight. Joseline's asking the girls what's going on, and Neek said, let me fight. She over there telling security, let me fight, because they were restraining her. Hennessy has Neek's wig over there, and she's trying to rip it up. Neek ends up saying that she got mad because she's telling Joseline what happened. She said, I got mad because Hennessy tried to sneak me, and I'm like, you supposed to be ready. Like the way you was talking on that bus, you should have expected her to do it, and you should never not expect your opponent to not want to hit you and catch you lacking. But Joseline ends up telling Neek that she's dancing next to her, so get it together. Like, you're going to be dancing next to me, so get it together. Neek says, okay, then give me my bonnet. And then they ended up telling Hennessy, or she ended up telling Hennessy that you ain't even do shit. Like, she's talking shit back and forth. They still going back and forth. But Hennessy is over there, like I said, trying to rip up Neek's wig. Joseline comes to get it, and she's like, nah, that's not cool. I got to say it. I don't think I've said it so far this season, but Joseline's sober, such a good look. Such a good look. Even though she's still Joseline, she still does things that are rude. You could tell she's in a better headspace this season. Like, her vision is clear. And I like that. It's a good look for you, Joseline. But she ends up asking her if she's ready to dance, asking Hennessy. Neek ends up telling her, wait till we get home. Because she can hear Joseline, because Joseline and Hennessy are talking, but she can see it. She's still over there telling Hennessy, wait till you get home, I'm going to fuck you up. Hennessy telling her to suck her dick. They're just going back and forth. Security is still restraining Neek, and Neek is now crying about this point, now wanting to fight. And Joseline ends up asking the girls again, why are they fighting? Isis then takes it upon herself to pretty much letting Joseline know. She says there was arguing. Hennessy snuck her when she was getting off the bus. As she's telling this, Hennessy is now trying to speak her piece. Isis is telling her to shut the fuck up because Joseline had been talking to her and asking her what's going on. Hennessy ends up telling Joseline her side regardless, which is what I respect about Hennessy. Like, the both of these girls, you already know Neek that's obviously my favorite. But Hennessy, I like Hennessy too. I like Hennessy because Hennessy, you can tell she just does not, she ain't fazed by none of these girls. When I say she ain't fazed, like, they're not going to stop her from doing what she wants to do. If she wants to do something and she want to pop her shit, she going to do it. And I respect it because you never going to silence me. If I want to say something, I'm going to say it. And that's what she did. But Joseline ends up saying in her confessional, why can't y'all just fight and shut the fuck up? That is true, but if you didn't feel like you did your big one, you're going to want to get another round in. And Joseline, you the last one to be saying that because you know you can't just fight and let it go. But Joseline ends up saying that the bitches that want to stay outside, stay outside. The bitches that want to dance, let's go dance. Simple. I'm glad she on that tip this season. But Rose ends up trying to tell Hennessy, like, Hennessy, chill. It's 50K on the line. Chill. We can going here. Hennessey's now telling her, right now, I need to holler at you. I'm like, oh, so you got an issue with Rose, apparently. But Rose ends up saying, you want me to get it up with them because you got beef with them. And Hennessey's like, I ain't got beef with nobody. I ain't beefing with nobody. They mad on their own. Yes, they mad on their own, but you got beef with them because you want to fight now. Like, that's beef. But Hennessyy ends up saying that she couldn't go into the rehearsal and just rehearse because she a hothead and she knows that if she gets in there, she gonna want to hit Neek. I fully understand it. Because I'm the same way. Once you get me to that point, I'm super level-headed. Y'all know this now. By now, y'all should. I'm super level-headed, but once you get me to that point where I want to hit you, I'm not stopping until I feel like stopping. And I can't just turn the switch off after I just literally wanted to bash your head in. I can't turn the switch off and then act like I can be professional. I can't do that. I'm not bipolar. Like, I got to literally, it takes me 30, maybe 40 minutes for me to calm down after I done got into it with somebody. But Joseline, they start transitioning into the studio. So she ends up talking about how embarrassing it is that they outside fighting and cussing in front of these people's studio. It's funny because it's true, but it's funny because Joseline is notorious for doing shit like this in public. But and it's funny because you can tell Joseline being sober, she realizes how stupid they look and how she's probably thinking about how she used to act. But Des, Isis, Erica, and Jayla, they're walking Neek to the bathroom to get herself together. She's in there saying, now I know we sneaking people. She said that she ain't sneak me, but I'm a karate kick her ass. They ain't there trying to calm Neek down. Neek's still on the high, obviously. That adrenaline is running. But she ends up saying, you touch my shit, a.k.a. her wig. I'm going to destroy your shit. Now, eye for an eye. She said, your shit is trash anyway, so it's not going to be that hard. But Neek ends up saying that she saw her getting up because Erica ended up asking, like, did you see her or whatever? And Neek was like, yeah, I saw her getting up, but I didn't think she was going to sneak me. But if that was the case, I'd have knocked her ass off the bus. I said, Neek, you can't be talking like you was talking and not expecting somebody to want to hit you. You got to always be on guard. You can never underestimate your opponent. If I'm beefing with somebody or if somebody's beefing with me or I'm talking greasy to somebody to the point where I know they probably want to hit me, I'm never going to not expect them to hit me. I'm going to always be on alert. That's why I'm like, Neek, you should have never not expected her not to hit you. But they get to rehearsal. Joseline ends up saying that she don't know what's going on with Hennessyy because she's the only one that's not there. Joseline ends up saying that if she can't come to dance, then don't come. Joseline said that she also respects Neek because Neek is actually there at the rehearsal. No matter what happened, even though she fought, she's still there. She still has her priority straight, which is to dance. That's what you're here for. She says, I'm disappointed in Hennessyy because she ain't putting dancing first. Essentially, I mean, I get where Joseline's coming from, but I also get where Hennessey's coming from because if I'm really that bothered, I'm not going to be able to just focus on what I'm here to do. I'm going to be ready to get my one, get my lick back in, and then I'll worry about it after that. But her removing herself was the best thing for that moment. But Joseline ends up awarding Neek her $1,000 immediately. I said, okay, we're not waiting until the show is done to get the prizes. She's giving her the prizes, and she gave it to her in cash. No check, cash, immediate. I said, okay, Joseline, I feel this. But she also lets him know that 5 girls will be joining her for the Damelo music video that they're going to be doing in the next couple of days, which I love. We have challenges, we have points, we have reasons as to why we're here, which makes the show entertaining. It's a concept. But she ends up letting them know, if y'all dance good today, I'm going to choose 5 of y'all, and you might be one of the ones to get in this video with me. So she said, y'all have 48 hours to prove to me, and she'll choose the dancers that she wants in the video. So she ends up also letting them know that she wants them to grow individually. She wants to kind of like cheer them on and like be there for them post the show. Like she says, you are doing well, whether you want to act, sing, dance, that's good for the cabaret. I said, Joseline, wow. It took you, 5 seasons to now realize that? I'm proud of her. Because it's true. Like, if one of these girls blows up, they're going to be traced. People are going to be looking at them and trying to figure out what's going on. And they see Cabaret in their history. They're going to be checking out Joseline's Cabaret to see what the person that they're looking at has done. But it's also going to get them to the show. It's going to help Joseline get more money. Smart. And that's the thing is that you brand, the whole part of a brand and having people with your brand is to have more people to expand that brand. Joseline's she's finally learning. She's finally learning. But she ends up smooth checking the fuck out of Oceans because Oceans was looking around as she was talking. Joseline took that as her rolling her eyes while she was speaking. I ain't mad at it because I don't like Oceans. Oceans needs to get, she needs to get hers. But Joseline said, watch your manners when I'm speaking. But Ricardo then starts running them all through the Damelo dance with Joseline as well. Ocean says that she feels like she got to go harder now because she just got chewed the fuck out. Isis ends up sneezing during the rehearsal, and Jocelyn's like, bitch, sneeze in your shirt, because she don't want nobody else to get sick. I understand that. If Isis would have just sneezed and didn't cover her mouth, sneezed in her hand, she sneezed into this part of your arm, and that's what you're supposed to do. If you don't sneeze into your shirt, you sneeze into your arm, so you block it from coming out. So Isis wasn't in the wrong, but I get where Joseline was coming from. But she then points out, Joseline then asks who has the video already, pretty much who has the choreography already. Ricardo ends up pointing to Neek, and Joseline ends up saying that Neek be doing too much talking, and Neek's like, what are you talking about? Like, I ain't even doing that. Raven felt like it was necessary for Joseline to address Neek because of how Neek was acting on the bus, and said that you was doing so much talking, you could have avoided the fight that you had. Y'all already know that's my wife. That's my wife. Neek is my wife, but she said the truth. She said the truth. It is the truth. Neek, if you would have shut up on that bus, you would have not had to fight. But whatever. But Joseline ends up saying that she didn't even notice Isis today. Ricardo said, yeah, because your energy's kind of off. What's going on? Isis says, I honestly feel like you picking on me. Like, she said to Joseline, I feel like you picking on me. Joseline says, I'm not going to baby you. Like, I just fired my assistant because he's a bitch. Like, I get where Joseline's coming from. I can see where Isis is coming from, because in a way it does seem like Joseline is picking on her. But in this particular case, I don't feel like she's picking on her. She's doing what she's supposed to do as an overseer. She's not the choreographer, but as an overseer of the product that she wants to produce. As she just told them, I'm looking at all of y'all to see which ones I want to be in my music video. If you're not cutting it, I'm going to let you know you're not cutting it so you can pick it up. Because if I know that you can do it, I want you to get to that point so I can actually say, okay, well, you did good in the rehearsal. I want you in the video. So I'm fully on Joseline's side in this particular moment. But she then also checks Danny for having her mouth open. She said, if you ain't sucking dick, close your mouth. Neek was laughing. I was laughing. Joseline then tells Isis as well, because she gets back to Isis and says, like, you can exit if you feel like you being picked on or whatever, because you haven't been impressing me with your dancing. I'm like, I guess, but Isis, in my opinion, is one of the best dancers on the show. Maybe she didn't impress her in that moment. I don't know, but we'll see. But Isis said that she didn't mean to say, like, picking. I just felt singled out. Maybe so, but like I said, in this particular situation, if you were not holding your weight, it's justified. But Jayla ends up saying in her confessionals that Joseline picks on everybody. She's just calling you out because she knows what you can do. That is true. All of what she said is true. Joseline does pick on everybody. And I do believe in this particular moment, hopefully, fingers crossed, Joseline was only saying this because she wanted her to do better. But Joseline wraps that up with a group hug. The rehearsal's done. We move to the next day. Multiple scenes, too. That's what I'm talking about. Joseline's Cabaret gives us multiple scenes. We're not just doing one thing. We had 2 full days in this one episode. Props to Zeus. Even though they getting ghetto over there on Midwest. We'll talk about that tomorrow on the live. Turn your post notifications on. We'll talk about that on the live. But the next day, we get Oceans, Big Envy, Lexi, and Danny. They are upstairs. We're recapping what happened at the rehearsals. Danny ends up asking if they've seen Hennessy because Hennessy's not at the house. And Ocean says she hopes she don't come back. I'm sure you do. I hope she comes back, and I hope she beats your ass. But they start recapping everything that happened on the bus. Rose ends up coming up to join them, and Danny ends up asking her how she's feeling. And Rose says, like, she don't know where to start. Like, how are y'all feeling about it? Big Envy pretty much says, like, if one of my friends that I came into this house with was talking shit about me around other people, I would want them to tell me if she was talking shit about me. I understand that, but y'all had an ulterior motive. I feel like Hennessyy, I don't know about Hennessyy though. Even though I said at the beginning, I like her. I don't know, something about her just gives me super calculated, but it's for the point. It's for the show. I don't know if they've been friends for real outside of the show. So if they weren't really friends for real, she looks kind of, I don't know. Hennessyy giving me sneaky, but it's good for TV. It's good for TV, and it's good for the competition aspect. I'm not going to hold that against her because you are here for 50K at the end of the day. So y'all are, and not my friends, we're not sharing the 50K. So if I got to do what I got to do, I got to do what I got to do. But Rose ends up letting them know how they had talked it out and pretty much how Hennessy had relayed everything. It made sense to Rose. Danny ends up asking if she feels like she's been manipulated, and Rose ends up saying, yeah, because I don't know if Hennessy understands it, but she does come off as if she's saying, like, if you my friend, you can't fuck with them. And it's like those type of friendships. I don't know if y'all are new to me, you don't know. I said this last season on Baddies East. I'm the type of friend, I'm going to watch your back. Like, I'm never going to let somebody do you in But if I don't have an issue with somebody, I'm not going to make your beef my beef. I'm only going to jump in if it becomes something that is more than just your beef and your beef. If it comes this and more, then I'm going to jump in. But that's just me as a friend. Y'all might disagree. That's just me. But Lexi ends up asking, like, what's the plan moving forward with her? And Rose ends up saying, like, we sleep in the same room. So, I mean, I don't know. But Oceans ends up offering her to come room with her. And Rose agrees to do it. Not me. That's the same bitch that tried to jump y'all. Like, I don't get, well, not tried, she did. I'm like, she bombed on y'all and you want to go be friends with her and stay in the same room? Psych. But they ended up talking, they then start talking about how they had finished the Damelo rehearsals and everything. They feel good about the dance and they're ready to get up and go practice. Good. Scene finished. We get a scene of Joseline in the front looking good. Joseline looked good in this scene. She really did. But Hennessy meets her at the front. Hennessy's pretty too. I'll tell y'all that. But Joseline ends up asking her, like, what happened last night. She was disappointed in her for missing the rehearsal. Hennessy said it was just, I just needed that moment. I couldn't come in there at that point as hot as I was. But Joseline pretty much says, like, you should never let a bitch see you sweat, essentially. Like, never let her get you out your bag. And I said, come on, Joseline, speak the truth. It's true. Because, like I said, even though I see where Hennessy's coming from, like, I don't want to say she's out of her bag because she only just missed the rehearsal, but she could have gotten sent home because she missed that rehearsal, which would have taken her out the bag. But, I get what she's saying, though. But Hennessy said, regardless, it woke her up, and now she's good. And Joseline pretty much said, like, can you go in there and let the shit go and just go in here and have this opportunity that I have for you to learn this choreography? And she said, yeah, like, I'm good. I'll go in there and act right. And she said, at the end of the day, I'm here for the 50K. Like, these bitches don't have the 50K. I want the 50K. I'm like, good. She got her head on right. But she says she's ready to get back in there and get on her shit because she ain't going nowhere. So Joseline ends up welcoming her back into the house. Her and Hennessy come walking in to greet the girls, who are all standing there downstairs. So Joseline ends up telling Lexi that she's been killing the Damelo choreography, and she gets emotional. All the girls are like chanting her on and stuff. Joseline gets emotional watching her get emotional. It was a very wholesome moment. I can tell this was a genuine moment. Lexi said she was surprised that Joseline even noticed her improving and getting the choreography. Joseline said, I told you, I've been watching. That's the whole point. I'm watching y'all. But Joseline then tells them, then talks about how Neek and Hennessy had gotten into it. She also then notices Hennessy sitting over there apparently looking serious, pretty much not faking the funk. She's like, why are you sitting there looking serious? And Hennessy laughs it off, saying, I'm okay, but that was some bullshit. Neek ends up saying, what was weird was you trying to sneak me. But they deaded it there. There was nothing. I was expecting them to kind of get into it, but they didn't get into it, so good for them. But Joseline tells Hennessy to join the girls, so she goes over there with the girls. Joseline lets them know that Kay is not coming back because she has to heal. The doctor said that she cannot come back. Good, because she don't need to be getting beat in the face like that again. We get Kay's outro. Essentially, she said, fuck them bitches, and they gonna hate. People gonna always hate. She said, regardless, she don't regret anything that happened. Kay grew on me. When I tell y'all, she grew on me. But that face still scares me. Her head is huge. Like, her head looks like a bobblehead. I don't know if it's a bobblehead. It's like one of them toys. I can't think of what the toy is. Y'all let me know if y'all know what I'm talking about. But it's that toy that has that big ass head with the little small body. That's what she reminds me of. And she kind of reminds me of Mia from the Real Housewives of Potomac. Tell me if y'all agree. Facial structure, they look exactly alike. But we move on. Joseline also then lets them know that Chinx had quit. Of course, they was cheering. I wasn't because Chinx, but even though Chinx left, her outro might be up there with Tommy's for me. Tommy's outro for Baddies West is the best outro for Zeus. This one right here, hers was the second best. When she told, she said, I'm rooting for Lacey to win because regardless if she win that money gonna find its way to me. Iconic. But she ends up letting me know we're gonna have fun today. She said, like, I want y'all to act as if y'all are going on tour with me. She said, because the girls that win the show are gonna go on tour with me. And you got to be essentially the sexiest woman alive. I want y'all to literally be sex. Like, I want y'all to look good, seduce me, essentially. She told them to put on their best cowgirl outfits, get sexy, and act as if you're ready. You already in the cabaret. And she said the sexiest lady will win a prize tonight. So we got another prize, which I'm assuming might be money. So good for Joseline. Good. But Diamond ends up asking if there's a twist because it's not like we can't get sexy. Joseline said, okay, then. I'm glad you asked because you're going to go first then. I said, okay. Diamond immediately is regretting saying anything because now she don't know what to expect. And Diamond is not necessarily as comfortable with her body. We find that out later on. But Joseline ends up saying, like, this particular challenge is going to be the toughest challenge that they had planned for the season. It wasn't, but okay. But they all get dressed and head on to the bus to go to the challenge. Everybody looked good except for Oceans. Oceans, in my opinion, I'm like, she just put on lingerie. She told you to come in like a sexy cowgirl, and you just got on lingerie. That's it. But they get dressed. Like I said, they on the bus. Rose says she's going to be staying to herself, essentially, pretty much. I'm keeping my distance with Hennessy. That's pretty much what I got from that. But they start speculating on what they're going to be doing. Jayla thinks they're going to be on a bull. And they start dancing on the bus. They're having a good time on the bus, including Hennessy. She dancing on the bus with them, too. So good for them. Good vibes. Like I said, most of them look good. But Joseline and Ballistic, they arrive to the venue where they're going to be doing the challenge. She sits down, has her iPad. She's ready to take notes. Ballistic is there to help her pick the 5 girls. The girls all arrive. They then sit down in front of Joseline and Ballistic, and Joseline introduces him to them, that man, to them, and lets them know that he will be helping her pick the 5 ladies. So Diamond goes up first. Joseline says, since you think it's gonna be an easy challenge, you go first. So she gets up there and literally opens up her shirt, starts shaking her titties. That's all she did was shake her titties. She said herself, like, I'm not comfortable with my body. But Joseline gave her props and said it was sexy. I'm like, okay, I guess it's subjective, but okay. But Neek ends up saying all she did was flop them titties around. That's literally all she did. But Erica goes up next. She made her ass clap, essentially. It wasn't that special. I'm going to tell y'all which ones I would pick as I'm going through it. But and y'all tell me who y'all would pick in the top 5. Who would be y'all's 5? But Joseline thought it was sensual. She thought it was sexual. She ended up asking Ballistic what he liked. He said it was entertaining. He could tell that she could actually move doing the choreography. Joseline loved her girl down there, her pussycat. She said it was pink and pretty. I said, oh, so you trying to recruit her. I see. But Drea comes up to go get with that wig that she got on. That wig looked very matted. But she went to go change, and she comes back in with, like, cheetah type, coyote type, the little ears that she put on top. And then she had a tail hanging in between. It did not look flattering. She's trying to go for a coyote, but it did not look flattering. And she looks like a little girl. I feel uncomfortable watching her because I feel like I'm watching a child. But Dez goes up next, Estelita from Love and Hip Hop, except she bad. She badder. In my opinion, she's badder. But she gets up there. Erica's talking about how Dez and then Diamond co-signed, saying that they're going to fuck tonight because Joseline was literally asking Ballistic to calm down because she said that he got hard watching her or whatever. But Isis, she comes up there next. She says some shit on fire. You can tell Isis can dance. You can just tell she can dance. Drea was hating per usual. Isis was the first person that I would have chosen. Isis can dance. Like, I already know she would be good in the music video. Joseline said that she was scared, though, because she's over there lighting shit on fire. But she thought it was good. She thought it was awesome, and Ballistic liked it as well. Oceans goes up there next, and Joseline summed it up the best. She said, you up there and you dance like a white woman with 2 left feet. Even though she said she never saw that side of her and thought she would look sexy or whatever. But she danced like a white woman. Like, it's just really what it is. Hennessy gets up there next. Hennessy got some ass on her. Hennessy look good. She got a body on her. Hennessy look good. Hers was good. Hers was fire. I would pick Hennessy. That's number 2 for me. Joseline told her that she is fine and the body is bodying. No lie. Joseline ended up saying, too, that she needed to get... This right here cracked me up. She said she needed to get her titties done because they look like they got beat up. I said, damn. But she said everything else looked good, so I'm going to give her that. She ain't lying. I couldn't see her titties, but the body looked good. She looked good. But Drea comes back with the coyote tail, looking like a little girl, like I said. Joseline ends up saying that essentially she lets herself get in her own way sometimes, but she did great. Joseline lets Ballistic choose the next girl, and he chose my baby girl. Chose my baby. And she looked good. Neek looked good, boy. She looked good. And Neek can dance. You can tell Neek can dance for real. Like, dance for real. She doing splits, leg lifts, head spins. Looking good. Sexy. But Joseline ended up saying that she was one of her favorites of the night. Mine, too. Obviously, you already know I'm going to pick her. That's number 3. Lexi gets up there next. She got body on her, too. That's number 4 for me. Well, no, it was number 4, but I'm gonna change it. It was number 4, but I'm going to change it. Y'all let me know. But Joseline ends up asking her if she's shy. She says a little bit. You can tell she is. Joseline ends up saying, like, you've obviously been working hard. Like, with the choreography, this was good. She did good. Jayla was up next. Jayla says she's never stripped before, but she only received trophies for dancing, which I'm assuming she's a competitive dancer, like she does like ballet and stuff. So that's what I'm assuming. Joseline can't believe that she done had 3 kids. Looking at her body, she said she did good. Raven goes up there next. Raven looked good. Like Raven looked really, really good. She killed hers. I would have chosen Raven, but we gonna keep it moving. Rose was next up. She ends up bringing Oceans up there because she wants to sell sex, and that's exactly what she did. She did. I would choose Rose. Big Envy came up there, and she was the last one, and she ended it the way. No, she wasn't. I'm lying. I thought she was gonna be the last one. The way she performed, she should have been the last one. But I'm definitely picking Big Envy. She set shit on fire. She put a damn candle in between her. You know what? Lit the shit on fire. Put whipped cream. I was like, oh, she over here. She pulling the tricks out. But Danny goes up. She goes up last, and Danny was just Danny. Joseline ends up saying that she thinks Danny is one of the prettiest girls she's ever had when she fixes herself up. I said that was shade. But Joseline was impressed with all the girls. They brought something different to the table. Honestly, for all in all, I do believe all these girls is good. Like I said at the beginning of the season, this is the best in terms of women that I've seen on a Zeus reality show. Collectively, this is the baddest group of women. Like in terms of physical appearance, these are baddies. These are what should be on that show. But she ended up saying they all brought it, and we get a cliffhanger because she's gonna be picking the girls to dance. We don't know who. We're gonna find out. But next week, like I said, look like it's gonna be that episode. That's gonna be that episode. It seems like the new girls, which looks like Isis and Neek and their girls, because they was dapping each other up when they was going back and forth with, looks to be Danny and Drea and maybe Hennessyy. Hennessyy and Jayla get into it at the house. They fighting. Joseline going off on Neek. Neek beating the fuck out of Danny to the point where Drea comes in and her punk ass tries to jump my girl. Then Isis is chasing her around, whooping her ass. Looked like Erica got up in there too. They was in there Royal Rumble. That's what it was. But another good episode, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all's thoughts are down below. Please interact with the video because I already know we got baddies coming out. I don't want y'all to forget this one is up too. Thumbs up the video if you have not already. Like I said, let's try and get 200 likes. Get in them comments, subscribe, share the video. I'm getting off of here now because the WNBA Finals is on right now, and I'm trying to watch this baddie shit before we get too deep into the WNBA Finals because I want to watch the rest of it to see who wins. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. That's coming out next. I'll see y'all then. Peace.